WhatsApp.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah, sorry, I got disconnected. It looks like my kids have been playing with my computer, so they unplugged the power switch. So the battery switched off. Anyhow, Alhamdulillah, we're back. نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. So today, what I would like to do, I would like to, because we had a long break, so I would like to catch up on what we were doing last week and what we have covered so far. So some of the lecture will be a summary of what we have covered so far, and that will also help you understand the bigger picture, and then we will cover a little bit of the topic I want to cover today. So Brother Javed and everybody else, we started on fail, okay? And in any language, fail is of three kinds. It is an action which has happened in the past, or it will happen in the present, or it will happen in the future, right? So present is happening, future will happen. But in Arabic, we have two fails. One of them is called Madi, okay? And the present and future tense is combined into one, and we call it Mudare, okay?
All right.
So I'm trying to cover up or give you the snapshot of what we have covered so far, okay? So Madi mean is past tense. So the action is complete. Action is complete. So that is why it is also known as perfect tense. So next time or whenever you think about a fail, which is a verb, in short, that means an action with some time component, that the action happened in the past, present, or future. Madi, something is done, action is complete, we have no doubt about the action, and that is why we call it perfect tense. That's number one. That's a first thing we need to know about a fail. Second thing we need to know about a fail, that a verb is always going to have a subject. What does that mean? So if I write it in Arabic, a fail will always have a file. File mean the person who is doing the action, and the verb fail is the action. Is that clear?
Mm-hmm.
Right, everybody else?
Yes.
Yes, good. So we know that by default, the file is hidden in the fail by default. Okay, before I get to that, we also, number three thing is that 99% of verbs in Arabic are made up of three root letters. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So that's rule number one. Rule number two, there is a pattern. Okay? Pattern, we can call it a pattern, we can call it a style, we can call it a template. I'm using different English words so that you understand what I'm talking about. We can call it a die. Die is like, you know what die is?
Yeah.
Something.
Color?
Yes, die is color, but die is also a
Mold. Kind of a mold.
mold. Like for example, for sisters, they might connect with this word, cookie cutter.
Colors. Yeah.
Okay, cookie cutter. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so by default, in order to understand the concept of verbs in Arabic, the default pattern, default pattern is fa'ala. Fa'ala. Making sense? So they took how many root letters? They took the fa letter, the ain, and the lam letter. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Now fa'ala is the Madi pattern. What is it? Madi pattern. So by default, any verb in Arabic we write is in Madi. We know it's past tense. Now, what we do with it later on, we decide later that, okay, we want to make it present and future. Then we look at the pattern afterwards. We start with Madi, and the people of Arabic language said, we have 3 root letters and we have a pattern. So what is the system? We have to be given 3 root letters, and the person has to define me a pattern. Then I need to come up with a verb. So in order to understand that pattern or that system, they said the default pattern is fa'ala, and the English translation is he did. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. We also said point number 4. We said in fa'ala, the fa letter stays the same. The haraka doesn't change. And the lam letter, the haraka doesn't change. Only the ain letter can either have e or u. Because how many harakas in Arabic? U, a, e. So this is a, e, u. Right? So if I need to write it down, I can say fa, ala, fa, ila, fa, ula. Making sense?
Yes.
You know, it'll be nice if I can hear everybody. Please undo your mics.
Alhamdulillah, it's good, brother.
Yes. So just a little, you know, comment helps me. Okay. So if that is the case, then we said Fa'ala means he did. So where is the he coming from? Okay. So in order to understand that, we said already that action cannot come without the actor. Yes. So the person has to have a file. Okay. So then we know that the actor or the file is he. Okay. Now, in the past lectures, I have said something like this. Daraba Hamidun Zaidan. Who remembers this?
I remember.
Okay, so this is verb. Yes?
Yes.
Meaning hit. Who's Hamid?
File.
File, which is subject.
Subject.
Okay, and the object?
Zad.
Okay, now we are trying, the reason I'm doing this to trying to show you that the bits and pieces you have learned over the lectures, now we are applying most of them. Hamidun is what a status?
Rafa.
And the Zaidun?
Nasab.
Nasab.
Yeah, Nasab.
Very good, very good, very good. So when I said Fa'ala, right? Then I also called it that he did, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then I could also say fa'al plus huwa. Yes? Because
Yes.
he is huwa and the action of doing something is fa'al, right? Now, who can tell me if he is the file What status he is in?
Rafa.
Rafa. I want you to see this. That is the reason I'm doing this. Otherwise, you would not go through this exercise. So I want you to understand that the reason the huwa here is huwa and not who, because the table of Rafa pronouns is what? Huwa, hiya, anta,
Detached pronoun.
anti, right? Ana,
Yes.
okay. And then huma, huma,
Huma.
hum,
Hunna.
hunna. Now, by now, this table should be printed in my head, in my brain. The moment I think about pronouns, I need to know Rafa mean they are the detached pronouns.
Detached pronoun.
Okay. So the next concept you need to understand is this: that how do we get fa'ala? And we are not seeing huwa in there. So the system is that in Madi, in Fail Madi, there will be the fail and there will be a suffix. Making sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, suffix. So huwa has no suffix. So it's going to be fa'ala. Okay. The next one is fa'ala, and the suffix is supposed to be huma and only alif is taken. Making sense? Is that making sense, guys?
Yes.
And
Yes.
the next one is fa'ala, fa'alu, fa'alu.
Fa'alu.
So it's supposed to be home, and from this home only taken wow,
Wow.
alif.
Alif.
Making sense?
Yes.
So that's the suffix. We have learned that in the previous lecture, that how we got to fa'ala, right? And fa'ala, fa'alu. Because we are attaching the attached pronoun in verb is coming after the verb in the form of a suffix. Everybody clear on that?
Yes.
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 Okay, good job. So now, if we are clear on that,
Allahu Akbar.
what I'm going to do, I'm going to, Brother Javed, you have a question? Anybody has a question? I heard somebody.
No, it's okay. Okay, fine.
Okay, all right. So let me give you some words for the patron fa'ala. Okay, so, and you might be thinking that how would I know the patron? If I want you to do something, I would tell you the root words and I would also tell you the pattern. And then your job will be to make different words out of that. Okay. So fa'ala, some examples are khalaqa. Khalaqa mean
Created.
Created.
He created.
he created. Now in the Quran, how many times we see khalaqa? Lots of time, right?
Thoughts. Yes.
Khalaqal
Okay.
insana.
Then another one, rafa'a. He
Raised.
raised. Okay. Ghafala. What is ghafala?
Forgive.
He, what would be the English word for ghafala?
Forgive.
Ghafala means that he
Give.
ignored or he was lazy.
Oh,
Lazy or
Ghafil is ignorant,
Unaware.
unaware. Very good. He is unaware. Okay. Then let's say this easy one. Sajada. He
He prostrate.
prostrated.
prostrated, right? Because of the
Prostrate.
past tense. Okay. Then we have something like nafa'a. What is nafa'a? He
Profit. He made money.
he profited, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Nazala.
He sent.
He sent down something, right?
Yes.
Then what is that? Kazaba.
He lied.
Light. Okay. So how do I know this? Because we have to make sure that we understand our vocabulary. Now, with every verb here, we said khalaqa, he created. Now, how many zamair or pronouns are there for rafa? What is the number?
14.
14. So from khalaqa, I can make 14 variations. Okay,
Hmm.
making sense?
Yes.
And that 14 variations will tell me who did the action. And what are the actions of pronouns? There is a person who is ghaib. The second one is hazir and mutakallim. Remember that? In English, we call it third person, second person, and first person. Yes? This is he, she, this is you all, I, we. Is that making sense?
Yeah.
Okay, Alhamdulillah. So from each of these verbs, you can create 14 variations. Khalaqa, khalaqa, khalaqu. Right? Khalaqat. Yes.
Khalaqata.
Khalaqaka, khalaqahu,
Khalaqana.
khalaq,
Khalaqana.
khalaqti. Right? Or khalaqta.
Khalaqtuma.
Khalaqtuma, khalaqtum.
Khalaqti.
Khalaqti, khalaqtuma,
خلقتما
Khalaqtunna.
khalaqani, khalaqana.
Khalaqana.
خلقت خلقنا
Khalaqna.
خلقت.
Okay, so mashallah, this kind of table, you should be able to do it in your head now. We have done it enough time that we should be able to do it in our head. So let's look at the next category, which is, let me tell you, fa'ila. Okay, so in this category, we have something called fariha. He delighted or happy. Alima. Alima. So you cannot say faraha, alama. It doesn't sound good, right? So some words, they fall in the category of fa'ila. So fariha, alima. What is alima?
Knowledge, maybe.
He knew.
He
Okay,
knew.
right? Or he found out. Okay. Kadima. Okay. Kadima, he came. Okay. What else? Has Hamida. He praised. Okay. Hasiba. What is Hasiba? He thought or he imagined. Okay. Again, you are going to learn these vocabulary and then you should be able to say what is the 14 different variations with the Zamaya, because we need a file, right? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now the next one is fa'ula, right? And for that, I have some words for you. Faruba. He came close. Close, sorry. He came close. Karuma. What is karuma? He was praised, or he usko izzat dena kisi ko, to give respect to somebody. That he become respectful, right? Ba'uda. What is ba'uda? He distanced. Okay. What is sakula? What is sakula? Sakal is something heavy. Sakul is something heavy. Okay. Are you finding this beneficial, by the way? Are you finding this, after these few sessions we have done about the verb, are you finding this sort of summary useful?
Yeah, very useful. Yes. Refreshing memory. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
And brother Abid,
Yes, sir.
uh, all these are still fail madi.
They're all fi'l madi, yes.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
Now we will learn how to make them fi'l mudare soon.
Okay.
But this is the sample of fi'l madi. Fa'ala, khalaqa, rafa. How do we make a fi'l mudare? We will learn later. But first we have to master these, so then when we get to the fi'l mudare and fi'l, present and future tense, we know what to do with this. So
Sure.
vocabulary is very important, guys. Okay. Now, talking about patterns. Okay. Talking about patterns mean, we said our first pattern is fa'ala. Yes. And what is that? Verb, right? Then what do we call the actor? Fa'ilun. What do we call them?
Fa'ilun.
Fa'ilun. And the object? Maf'ulun.
Maf'ulun.
Okay. Fa'il, fa'ilun, maf'ulun. But simply we say fa'il or maf'ul. Yes. But remember, in Arabic, by default, a noun or anything we write, by default is in the halat rafa. So fa'ilun, maf'ulun. Like muslimun, kitabun. Right? So if there is a verb called kataba, what does that mean?
He wrote.
He wrote. If I have to make a file based on kataba, it's going to be katibun. Making sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
What I did, I simply substituted into this pattern the 3 root letters, and it becomes katibun. So when you listen to kataba, you're going to translate he wrote. When you see katibun, you're going to say the writer. Making sense?
Yeah.
Then maf'ulun will be maktubun. What did I do here? I have
Follow
added,
maf'ul.
yes, I have substituted the 3 root letters into the pattern of maf'ulun. Okay, making sense? So maktubun will be it was written, because that means something was written. Okay, something else. Nasara, what does that mean?
He helped.
He helped.
File will be
Nasirun.
Nasirun,
Nasir.
Aaron.
Nasir.
the helper, the person who
So,
helped.
Brother
Right?
Abid, so we add the alif in the middle?
Where?
Nasirun, so, or is it?
So fa'ilun, right?
Katibun.
Right? So the alif is coming from this alif,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Okay. So remember katibun, I had the kaf and then alif from the fa. You know fa, alif. So I have to follow the
Okay.
pattern. Okay.
Or the
Nasirun.
pattern, okay.
So what will be the maf'ul?
Mansur.
Mansurun.
Mm,
Ah.
Making
okay.
sense? The
Yes.
one who was helped.
Mansur.
Oh, the one who was helped is Mansurun. Okay.
Yes, because he is the maf'ul. Somebody helped
yeah.
him. Now I'm hoping that you start to see the big picture. I hope you see the big picture, and now when something comes in front of you, then you will see what is the meaning of that. Okay. For example, what is abada?
Worship.
He
He worshipped.
worshipped,
He worshipped.
right? Abidun,
Abidun.
Worshipper.
the worshipper or the worshipping person, right? Mabudun,
Ma'bud.
the one who was worshipped.
Allah.
The one who was worshipped.
The one who was worshipped. Okay.
Right, because it's a fi'l madi, right?
Mhm.
So this is the beauty of Arabic language. From one root letters, you can have so many variations of the words, and you can make so many words out of them. Abada, abidun, ma'budun, and bunch of others. And with abada, you can make 14 variations, right? Depending on the 14
Yes.
different pronouns. Who's with me so far? Mashallah, there are 15 people. I need to hear at least
I mean,
10%
you,
of
Abid,
the
I'm
people.
kind of a little bit.
Yes.
Abid,
Ji.
I'm thinking a little bit on a tangent. Like in Urdu, when we say manzoor,
Hmm.
so that means the one who has accepted. No.
No, helped.
Can you, like, what is Nazara?
Nasara is
Nazir,
helped.
Manzoor, is right in Arabic?
Not Manzoor. Manzoor is different. Mansoor.
Nazar.
Not Nazar.
Manzoor.
Mansoor.
Manzoor.
Yeah, आप नजर की बात करें वो this is different. This is Mansoor. Nasara. Nasar.
That is different, okay.
Yeah. Nasar. Manzoor is
No,
something else.
I'm saying if you were to.
I think the Urdu pattern is different, Jahid bhai. It's not.
No, I know, but can you put it over here like Nazara, Nazir, and
Oh,
Manzoor?
you're talking about
correct?
this. Manzoor or with the Dawad. With the Dawad. Manzoor. Because this
Like
is Dawad.
Nazara, Nazir.
Okay, then Nazara, this is the Nazara. So that will be Manzoor.
Nazara, Nazir,
Manzoorun.
Manzoor. Exactly, yes.
Yeah, that totally change the meaning because it's something else, right? You're talking about Nasara with a sauce.
Yeah,
Okay.
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 Forget it.
No worries. So inshallah, when you focus on the vocabulary, you will start to pick up these words. Right now, the time is 10:33. Let me take you to, let me see if I want to cover something else with you guys. Okay. All right. Okay. So when we learn these verbs, what are we going to do with them? We need to be able to make a sentence. Yeah. And sentence, if you remember, we said sentence are of two, is known as jumla. Yes. And there are two kinds of jumlas. Ismiya and Fe'liya.
Fi'liya.
Right?
Verbal and nominal.
So this is nominal, like a noun. Starts with a noun.
The other is
That's verbal.
verbal.
Okay. Now we have done this before Ramadan. Okay. So when we did the review, we did not review the nominal noun because we were getting like, if we would have just kept on going with the review, then we would have been gone for another 2 months. So we jumped and we said we're going to do the Jumla Fe'liya. Okay. So if I write Jumla Fe'liya is, the combination is fail plus file. What is the combination?
Fail plus file.
That I need to have a fail and I need to have a file. So if I say Daraba, is that a Jumla?
No.
In a way, it is.
It is, because he hit.
He hit.
Yes.
Yes.
Because we said file is he. So action daraba is hit. So this is the fail and this is the file. So our definition of our jumla is good. So this is a jumla failure. Okay. In this, we always know by default the zamir or the file is hidden. Yes. But let me
Yes.
write the same sentence like this. I say daraba Hamidun. Okay, in this, is the file hidden or is it visible?
It's not visible.
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 So when the file is visible, we call it Zahir. What does it mean? Zahir. Yes?
Right?
Yes.
So then the translation will be Hamid hit.
Hit.
Okay? Is that a Jumla failure?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Any questions on this?
No, we're good.
No.
Brother Abid, actually, I have one question.
Yes.
A little bit confused here. So, daraba, when you're saying daraba,
Yeah.
he hit, right?
Yes.
And then we have daraba hamidun.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there an he in there too, or?
Okay, you a very good question. So let me write this down in a different way. If I say daraba Hamidan, what is different in this sentence?
The Hamid is the
Nasab.
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 Subject. Yeah.
So
An
will
object
be
is
the then it's the object, right? So the translation will be he
hit Hamid.
hit,
Well, hit by Hamid.
not by Hamid. He hit Hamid.
Okay, he hit Hamid, okay.
Yes. So Sister Zahra, is that
Yes.
explain you the difference?
Yes.
Right. So when we write only daraba and we have no other
Mhm.
information, we assume huwa is there. The action is he.
Okay.
But if we say daraba and bring the file with a name or with make it visible, zahir, then we don't say he hit. We say Hamid hit, or the file, whatever the file is the one who hit.
Okay. Okay.
Making sense?
Okay. Jazakallah khair.
We
Yes.
are. Now, there is a very important rule here. That rule is, let's say my sentence says a boy hit. I want to say boy hit. And then I want to say 2 boys hit. Then I want to say 3 boys hit. Okay. So what is the Arabic for a hit?
Zaraba.
Daraba. Daraba.
Zaraba, right? Now in this case, I'm saying boy, right? Yes.
Yes.
So is it Zahir or is it hidden?
Zahir.
Zahir. So
Zahir.
if I want to bring the boy as the file, what status is supposed to be in?
Zaraba.
Waladun.
Rafa.
Rafa,
Zaraba
right?
waladun.
So Daraba
Waladun.
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 Making sense?
Waladun.
Yes.
Okay. Then the next one is Daraba. What is the Arabic for 2 boys?
Wildan. Waldan.
Waladani.
Ladani.
Waladani, right? So now, okay, now let's do the next one, then I'll tell you what the rule is. Daraba, what is the jama of 3 boys?
The waladan, there's alif
Then?
after bab.
Waladan.
Waladani, sorry. I just,
Yeah, there's no alif there.
okay, waladani. Okay.
Waladani, and then
I just take the
waladan.
extra alif out, yes.
Yeah, okay, got it.
Yeah. So what is the jama of walad?
أولاد.
Waladan,
Awladun.
awladun,
Why is it awladun?
It's
jama of waladun.
Because it's a jama mukassar.
Jama mukassar.
Okay. Now,
I don't like it.
daraba waladun makes sense. A boy hit. But what have we learned in the past, that if there is a musanna, then the verb has to be,
Daraba.
what has to, the verb has to be what? Also
Follow.
musanna, right? So it should have been
Alif. Alif.
daraba waladani. Like it should have been like this.
Zaraba.
Daraba, right? This is what you would see, right? And then you will say darabu awladu.
Zaraba.
Making sense? Because we know that for jama is darabu
Okay.
and for musanna is daraba. Yes? Are you with me so far?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, but this is wrong.
To see daraba awladun is wrong, right?
No. We cannot, the rule is when the subject, you mean the file is visible, you always use the, for male, you use the first one, which is huwa, right? And if it's a female, then you use hiya. Huwa is number 1 and hiya is number 4. What do I mean by number 1 and number 4? In the chart, huwa is number 1 and number 4 is
Like
hiya.
Yeah.
Making sense?
Muannas.
So if it was a girl, then I would have used tarabat.
Dufra. Dufra.
Yeah. Can you guys mute that sound, please? Okay. So the rule is, when in these 3 sentences, when the file is visible, doesn't matter what is the other of the file, you use the first variation. Is that making sense?
okay.
Making sense, brother Afzal?
Yeah, it does. So really, daraba waladani or darabu waladun is not correct.
No, it is correct. These are all correct. This one was
No,
not
no.
correct.
I mean the next one,
These ones
daraba.
are wrong, yes. But I did it to show you that if we would just follow without knowing the rule, we would tend to use the musanna verb with the musanna and the jama verb with the jama. But the rule is, when the file is visible, then you always use the first one for male and 4th one for the female. Doesn't matter what is coming after that. So waladun is daraba is fine, wildani daraba is fine, awladun daraba is fine.
Good. That's a tricky one.
It is a tricky one, but remember this rule. That is what we are learning, alhamdulillah, that as we progress, more subject, more information comes our way. But we are doing it as bits and pieces, so it's easy for us to digest. And what will make you perfect, inshallah, is the exercise. Yes, yes, sister, you have a question?
Yes, brother, I was just wondering, if the verb comes first, should I assume it's not going to change?
You know,
Like
we don't
in this
assume,
case?
no, we don't assume anything.
Okay.
What we do, we look at the file coming after that. Okay, first of all, we are looking at jumla fe'liya, right? So jumla fe'liya will always have the file with it. So sometime the file will be hidden and sometime the file will be visible. So right now we're discussing this scenario when the file is visible.
Okay.
Because if it's
Okay.
daraba,
Jazakallah.
yes, if it's daraba, then we know that it is hidden. There is huwa there by default. But when I say waladun, now I am bringing the file. I'm saying it's not he, is the boy. Right? So I'm telling you who the file is. So I'm making it known to you. However, daraba will stay first. We will use the first pattern, which is huwa, because it's male, number one. And the rule is when the subject or the file is visible, you either use number one, and if it's a female, then you use number 4. So remember that rule. Write it down somewhere. Making sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we just need to memorize this rule. It's simple. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Inshallah, inshallah. Okay, so we have another 15 minutes left. Now I want to introduce another interesting subject to you, and I'm sure you will appreciate it and you will feel happy that now you get that. Okay. So Jumla Fe'liya, we said, is fail plus file, right? That's our minimum. But we can also have a fail plus file plus maf'ul. Can we have that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And I give you an example. We know that file is always rafa, and we said maf'ul is always nasab. Yes. So we said
Mhm.
Yes.
daraba
Hamidun
Hamidun Zaidan.
Zaidan.
So this is a perfect Jumla Fe'liya, right? Hamid hit Zaid. And it doesn't matter what I do with it, it's still going to be the same. So I'm going to say daraba Zaidan Hamidun.
Hamidun.
Making sense?
Yes.
Right? But this is not what I'm trying to show you. What I'm trying to show you is this. We looked at khalaqa. Yeah? What is the translation of khalaqa?
He created.
He created.
He created. Now I want to say he created him. What am I saying here?
Khalaqahu.
Ahu.
So the thing will be that's khalaqa, right? And khalaqa mean
He
khalaq
created.
plus huwa. What is the Arabic for whom?
Him. Who?
Who. Now so what did we say here? That file is supposed to be rafa, and maf'ul supposed to be nasab.
Nasab.
Is huwa rafa or nasab?
Rafa.
Rafa. And what is who?
Nasab.
From the table of
Nasab.
nasab and jar. Making sense?
Yes.
So if I say khalaqa who, what does that mean?
Khalaqahu.
He created him.
Created him.
Okay. Then if I say khalaqa
Huma.
he created
He created both of them.
both of them, male or female?
Both.
Both.
Khalaqa
Male.
hum. What do you mean?
They
They
created them.
He
created all
created
male.
them
Them male.
male. Are you guys seeing where I'm going with this?
Yes.
So now you know file plus fail plus file, then you have fail plus file plus maf'ul. And in this case, I am taking the pronouns as my example. Okay. So just to test if you understand this concept, I am going to give you an English word or sentence and you tell me the Arabic of that. Now, people who have already answered me, I think they should stay quiet for a little bit. And I'm going to put in the bracket mail. Brother Altaf, can you translate this?
Let me try. I might be.
Okay, no worries. Take your time, but we cannot hear you very loud. Can you come a little bit closer to the phone?
So khalaqta.
No. Think about it. Okay, so I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna give you a hint. So how are you gonna deal with this? So we know that there is khalaq, yes.
Yeah.
We also know that he is huwa, and you is what?
Ka.
You have to bring
Ka.
in your memory.
Ka.
You remember
Yeah,
that
yeah.
huwa, huma, hum, right? Anta, antuma,
Antuma.
antum.
Antum.
That's the Rafa table. Remember?
Yeah.
Then we had the who, he, huma, hima, hum, him.
Him.
Huma, hum. Because this is the nasab and jar. So I'm looking for file, supposed to be Rafa. So I have to pick huwa. And when I'm looking for the maf'ul, has to be nasab. So I have to pick from the nasab and jar table. So what will it will become? Khalaqa.
Halakaka.
Ka.
Making sense?
Khalaqaka. Yeah.
Okay. Now, Brother Afzal, make it easy for you. He created you female.
I think it will be same, is it?
You tell me. I
That's
helped
what
you
I think.
already. It's female.
Halakaka. Oh,
Khalaqaki.
it's a female.
Khalaqaki.
Oh, okay.
Khalaqaki. Right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. So now I am not teaching you anything new, by the way. I am just putting the knowledge we have learned all this time together. Yes? Who agrees with me on that?
We all agree.
Yeah, yeah.
So mashallah,
Yes.
if you remember your table, we spent a lot of time on these tables. That was the reason I spent that time, so that you know by very goodly. When I tell you pick from the Rafa, you know what to pick. When I say pick from the Nasab and Jar, and you can do this in your mind or in your brain and in your memory. Okay? Okay. He created me. Khalaqa ni. Yes.
Halakani. Halakani.
Khalaqani. And he created us.
Khalaqti.
Khalaqna. Khalaqna. Because ye and na is for the nasab and jar, first person. Okay. So you will be thinking, where is the ni come from? The noon come from? It's allowed in the first person. You can add the extra ni, or you can say khalaqaki. This is also correct. Khalaqaki. Khalaqaki or khalaqani, meaning is the same. He created me. Okay. Okay. I know it might take some time to sink in, but I have planted the seed today, and I believe you guys can understand this. So let me open something for you, and then we'll take it from there. Okay. Okay. Do we remember where we are in the Surah Kahf?
15th, ayat number 16, we should start.
16. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So ayat number 16. A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wa idha tazaltumuhum. So you withdraw from them. Can you start to see where the them is coming from?
From whom?
Hum. And iza tazaltumuhum. Tum. This verb means withdraw from. So you, meaning you all withdraw from wama ya'buduna, and what they worship.
Hey, Abid, can you bring this word further? Like, what is the letter U over here? Is the middle ta or in the beginning ta?
Which one?
Where is the meaning U coming from here? From this ta, like second letter ta or the middle one ta?
This one.
Ta with the dhamma.
Tumuhum. Iza tazaltumuhum. Tum se, this ta and meme, tum is the one is giving you. It's not you, it's you all, basically.
From them.
Okay. So, wama ya'buduna. So, ya'buduna is a fi'l mudare. We haven't covered that. Meaning they worship. Okay. So, what's happening is, you have to remember the background. Those youth, they seek refuge in the cave. Now they're talking to each other. They said that our people have accepted other gods beside Allah, and they have no belief, no proof about it. So they are misguided. So then they're saying that, okay, if they have done that, let's withdraw from them. Let us withdraw from them and we go into the cave. So fa'u ilal kahfi. So, and then because we don't worship anybody except Allah, so we withdraw from our people and we hide or retreat to the cave. Okay. Then yanshur lakum will spread for you. Yanshur is again fi'l mudare. We haven't covered yet, so I don't want to go into that. But we know what lakum is. Lakum is for you. Rabbukum. I'm sure Rabbukum. Most of people know Rabbukum, right? Rabbukum is Rabbuhu, Rabbuka, Rabbukum. Right? Rabbuhu, Rabbuhuma, Rabbuhum. Rabbuka, Rabbukuma, Rabbukum. Remember that chart? Is Rab a verb or a noun?
Noun.
It's a noun.
Mir rahmatihi. From your Lord of His mercy, wa yuhayyi lakum min amrikum mirfika. So what they're saying that, okay, if our people have accepted other gods other than Allah, then we will withdraw from them because we do not worship anybody other than Allah. We will retreat in the cave, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will spread His mercy on us and He will make our job easier. Making sense? So the youth said to one another, and when you have withdrawn from them and that which they worship other than Allah, retreat to the cave, your Lord will spread out for you of his mercy and will prepare for you from your affair facility. Okay.
Brother, I just have to go, and so I was just wondering if next class we could move the time back, because I think
okay, we need to have a consent on that, because by next week or Thursday, the Salah will come around 10:30. Okay, because right today I think the Salah was at 10:40 or maybe even less than 10:40. So what time would you like to start?
After Maghrib.
Right after Maghrib?
Yeah.
9:30 is probably okay.
9:30 is better. Give some little bit margin there.
So the thing is, brothers, I really, what happens is whenever I change the time, I miss or lose at least 4 or 5 people. They don't tell me, they don't raise their voice, or they don't say that, oh, it's not gonna work. They just simply stop coming. So for that purpose, I really want everybody to give me their, because I don't want to lose anybody at this point, because mashallah, we have a good class going on. Look, I myself never miss Isha Salah in Jama, but because of this class, I usually make an exception. I pray with my family at the Jama after the class. So what we can do, we can either stay put, because in 2-3 weeks, the time will come close to 10 o'clock anyways. Every day we're going 2 or 3 minutes before. So that's one option. We can only twice a week we can pray at home, and I don't think everybody is going to the masjid. Only 1 or 2 people are going. Maybe Omar goes regularly, so he can go. We can excuse him, and we can keep the time.
So we would next time, like as the time moves back, we would have the class after Isha.
Oh.
Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that.
At 10 o'clock.
My first option is that we don't move the time at all, because I hate to lose any more people from the class. I have lost at least 10 people because we moved the class from weekend to Monday and Thursday. So some people cannot join only because the timing doesn't work for them. So if I move from 9:30 to 10:30, yes, it will work for some of us, but some people will not raise any objection, but they will simply not be able to attend. If everybody is going to attend, I don't mind changing it from 9:30 to 10:30, but even moving that will not help, because by next week, the Salah Isha will start at 10:30 and it will not be enough time for you to rush to the masjid.
Maybe just keep it the same, because then the time would have to keep on changing.
Yes, so my second option is, let's not worry about it. In 2 to 3 weeks time, the Isha Salah will come close to 10 o'clock. So then we will start after the Isha Salah. It's still at 10 o'clock.
That's a good idea.
Brother Abid, can't you do before Maghrib?
It will not be feasible for most of my people, because the timing is so that people are doing dinner or they have a busy time before Maghrib. So I don't mind personally, but it will be difficult.
Let's sound it out. People are around here.
I don't mind either, actually.
Yes, but there are like, mashallah, 20 plus people. So
better text the timing, yeah.
1 or 2 consent is not good enough for me. I need to know at least 100%.
Yeah, everyone should text in the WhatsApp group their timing, their preferred time. Then it will be like easy for you to make a decision. Yeah.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm saying that everyone should like text their timing and the WhatsApp group. Then it will be easy for everyone.
Okay, yeah. But I'm telling you, before Maghrib will not work for me personally. I know it will become very tough to come before Maghrib. Unless the Maghrib really comes down, then we know that in a month's time, our timing will become very, suitable for most of us. So then it will be a good idea to change the time. Okay.
Maybe right after Maghrib, isn't it?
People who are running away without raising their voice, probably they're not interested. To be quite honest to you, I'm being very honest over here.
Yeah. So
because
if 1 or 2 people say it,
then I will raise my voice for sure.
Right. So I need to know from everyone, without losing a single student, that it should work for everyone. It should not be a tension or disturbance or some sort of a stress on anyone because of the time change.
Brother, let's keep it for now the way it is.
Brother Afzal, I can't hear you.
I said, let's keep it the way it is for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then maybe we can, in a couple of weeks, we can do it again, you know.
Okay. All right. Okay. So inshallah, why don't we do this? Thursday we'll still stick with the same time. And then as we go, and if you in the meantime want to send me a text message about your preference, please do. But trust me, for me, it's very hard because if it works for 5 people and it doesn't work for another 5, it hurts me that I'm going to lose those people, right? So we don't want to do that. Mashallah, I think a pretty good system is working right now. So let's work around it, okay? So allow me another 3 minutes because I want to just talk about a couple of things and then we'll call it a night, okay? So coming back to the verse number 17, I want you to draw your attention to this word tala'at. Tala'at is from tulu. What is tulu? Tulu mean when we say the sun is rising, right? Yes, tulu. The word in Urdu also we have tulu, tulu shams. The sun is rising. So we say wattara shamsa iza tala'at. What did that mean? What is tala'at? Can somebody tell me what tala'at is?
Tala'at is female. Female, maybe.
Feminine.
Why is it female?
Because the Shams.
Because Shams is considered Muannas.
Shams is Muannas.
Right? A Shams is Muannas. So,
Shams.
Look at these 2 words. I'm going to write it down and then I'm going to come back to it and then we'll call it a night. Okay? I'm writing it down and I'll share it with you. Okay? Tala'at and then Gharabat. We don't have enough time to go over the verse, but I just want to show you these 2 words so that you know we have learned these pretty good. So here, Tala'at is from Tala'a. Making sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So if it's female, if Shams is female, what is the female for Tala'a? Making sense? Tala'at. How do I know? Fa'ala, fa'ala, fa'alu. Remember that one? And then fa'alat for the female for the second person. Making sense? Yes? Gharabat. What is gharabat? Gharabat is gharaba. When the sun goes down. We say ghurub. The sun is ghurub. When the sun goes down. So gharaba is the verb. What will be the female of it?
Gharabat.
Gharabat. MashaAllah. Now you see in that verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying when the sun comes out, we take the light away from their cave, and when the sun set, we take the light to the other side from their cave. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is hiding the cave from other people's vision. So he's using the sun's coming out and going down in such a way that it bypassing the cave. So inshallah, that's something we'll discuss next time. But I wanted to tell you that we now have enough knowledge to find out what tala'at means and what gharabat means. Agree? Okay, so I hope you have the same excitement as I am, because when I see these and when I can understand these, I feel very happy. Okay, Jazakallah khair. Inshallah, I'll upload the video tonight. And thanks for your effort and your participation. And inshallah, timing, I know it's a little bit difficult at the moment, but if we stay put, we will make it work, inshallah. Because the later is better, because then we are done with most of our daily routines. So we basically, yeah.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.